beautiful people. Welcome to yet another episode of the Younib Breakfast Show with me, Peninah Wachera. I hope you guys have woken up well and are excited to face your day. Yeah? As I usually say, it is important for us to have conversations that build us, that entertain, and also that inform us. Yeah. And today we are having quite an amazing conversation that will help us be informed on issues that has been happening mostly to the girl child. I know when I talk about the girl child, kila mtu atasema, oh, the girl child is more empowered, the girl child is we have not even taught the boy child on how to deal with empowered ladies. But anyway, there was a problem of not empowering ladies and we needed it. Yeah. So as men also, they need the people who can be able to empower them. But for today, we are speaking about issues that affect us because there are things that we still need to be speaking about. But before I get into the conversation of the day, let's go straight to the morning bite of the day. Yes, today we're having a conversation on period shame and period poverty. And most times when we hear about this conversation, I know mostly it comes to people because of Women's Day, because maybe of somebody who, for example, Jambi, who unfortunately died because of endo. And such conversations are really downplayed even after it's coming to be known by people. Then after that, they downplay it, and then we forget about this conversation. And today we're just here to just remind ourselves about the period, the effects or what comes with having menses as ladies, what we go through when it comes to our period times, the shame that comes with it, the lack of sanitary towels that come with it, because not every single time you'll be having money to actually buy the sanitary towels, yeah? And also to empower or to let people know, for those who think that sanitary towel does not involve also tampons, we are here to actually teach you about this conversation. And today I'm joined by a familiar face. She's not a guest here. And she's one of, I don't know, let me just not actually introduce her, but let me leave her to introduce herself because she's an iconic lady. So hi Gloria.
Cap. Amen. Hi. My name is Gloria Munyiva.
Yeah.
Current chairperson of the Younib organization. And am I supposed to say the other one?
Yeah. Feel free.
Currently a student at JKUAT University, pursuing community development and environment, as well as the deputy speaker for the 8th Congress.
Yeah.
Yes.
As I told you guys, an iconic lady. Yeah. She's done playing it, but honestly, when you kwa vitu kwa ground, she's really on toes when it comes to everything about leadership, about the environment. Kwanza, guys, she finds you umebeba the bottles, yeah? Normal bottles, alafu uangushe. I'm telling you, you'll carry it in your bag to go with it at home. So
I thought it was an unspoken rule.
You see, guys, I tell you, but she's for me, I said iconic because I see you as an iconic person. Yeah?
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
So she's really good at what she does, and she puts all her energy in it. So it's good to give flowers when people are still alive.
I feel so good.
So yes, thank you so much for coming and for us to have this discussion. I know this discussion is something that we have been passionate about for quite a while, and we know the history behind it. So it's good for us to just have this conversation and to actually speak about what really we've seen happening, the small things that people think it's normal, but it's not. So I'd like to start on a simple note. Is there an instance where you've been period shamed?
What? In front of the camera? Today's the day. So quite some instances that I have felt ashamed. I'd say especially in primary school, because at that time we weren't really taught much on the self-hygiene and all that stuff. So it took some time to understand one's body. I've definitely had an instance where, oh my God, my pad accidentally fell when we were in class. We were in primary, and you see at that time we were told, you know, that the boys are not supposed to see you carrying, and then you're there being told, hey, Mangusha, and now you have to go pick it up and try to squeeze it in your pocket, and now you feel so embarrassed about it, and you wonder why you're feeling embarrassed. But at that time, it was an unspoken rule about. And the other instance was not me, but for my friend who hadn't masked herself. But again, the hygiene. So she had started, but she didn't have cramps, so she didn't know about it. And then, so there was that smell. And we didn't know, because we were also young, we didn't know if that's the period smells. You know, there's that smell that... So people were making remarks about her, and she told me about it afterwards, because we weren't in the same class, because she was crying about it. And at that time, I felt embarrassed on her behalf, because you see, when you're kids, you wonder if it's the period or just the sweat smell. You know, you're in primary school. So you don't even have the time. So you're just like, maybe she doesn't bathe well, you know. And she felt really bad about it. Yes, and I feel especially bad when I remember about this, because I know the teachers will have
known. That's something,
Yes, they will have known. And I do not know if the teachers weren't near, or maybe, I really don't know, but there was lack of awareness to understand our bodies earlier and how to keep it clean. We were taught, yes, you're supposed to bathe twice a day, but we weren't taught there's this smell that if you feel that you have this smell and you do not have cramps, please go to the washroom, you know. Or if you mess yourself, you're not supposed to wash your undies in hot water.
It should be
supposed you know, such things. And then when you're going to high school and you're finding some people have that information, they now treat you as if they expected you to know that information. So there is that, again, shaming. And before you learn, yes, but then you learn when you've already been ashamed.
True.
Yes.
Yeah, what I can remember actually was the fact that, you see, once you're on your menses during school time, I'll also go back to primary, you see, you remember that time you had to, if you had messed on yourself, you used to carry your sweater, and then you tie it on your waist, and definitely everyone will know this person.
Like it was supposed to be secretive, but at the same time it was so open.
It was making people also to just know. And you know, for us, you had the opportunity to go to the dormitory, because most of us at that age, class 6, most of our classmates were already boarders. Like, for our school, it was a must for you to be a boarder by class 7. So most parents preferred to take you earlier so that you can get used to. By the time it's class 7, you're good, and you can be able to now focus on studies. So that's, I don't know what psychology they were using there, but So you used to find, if you've messed on yourself, you had to tie, and then you had to go in front of the class and then tell the teacher, you know, hey, please, may I go out? You can't just walk out of the class just like that, because the teacher will see it as rude. So you can imagine doing that, and then everyone will just notice you've gone, and there's maybe like a change of clothes. You didn't have this. It was really, really shaming.
To add on it, when I'm talking about hygiene, I'm also talking about how, let's say, understanding that the different situations of different families, maybe people aren't relating so much to their parents or their guardians because they were busy with work. So most of the time, they're the house helps. And then maybe if the house helps is not knowledgeable, like for me, I was taught by my our house help, on how to wear the pad, nafaa here, and then move by kaju and all that stuff. At those times, and then carrying extra pads and panty in case you mess yourself. We were really not taught about it. So you'd find that you have the pads, but
You don't have the funds.
Another thing, you don't even know if, for those who had heavy periods, we weren't really informed if how you're supposed to notice like this is the normal type of period flow, and this is the not normal type of period
I think till
flow.
date it's also quite difficult for most people to actually know the difference.
True. And you see, but it's not supposed to be that way, because we also had people who had like extra painful periods, and they could get
sick during that time,
and so much cramps and nausea, and then at that time you were told, when you have cramps, you can't even tell the teacher that you have cramps. You had to keep quiet, and then when you're going for the laps in the school, you still had to go. And then there's that shame of, oh my God, I'm the last person kwa kukimbia, and that kind of stuff. It was all the moods. There's a lot.
Yes, of things happening.
Yes,
but it's true. Shame did not start just the other day. It started even when we were small. So it means that there's still shame till date. But at least now I can say there's a little bit improvement,
especially on the education.
Yeah, on the education part.
Improved.
Not at a lot, just a little improved, because now you can see girls can easily walk with their pad, and go and change without any issues.
Talking on education, I also want to talk about, let's say, for the men. So we've transitioned from it being, a very secretive thing for the women to something that involves the community.
True.
And I think that was very needed, because you see, even when we are discussing with our fellow friends, we still have some male acquaintances that do not believe that they should be involved in period matters. We've had a couple of them saying, I need to make yoyote lakini sisi pads, and the TikTok clips of men wearing women clothes and others they're going to get the sanitary product, and it shows a lot. Also, for how now people are trying to make initiatives on how to approach to bring the empowerment to both sides, to close the gap. So now you find that people are now taking initiatives of, maybe instead of buying chocolate only, or instead of chocolate, you can bring someone one packet of pad. It's a lot, and then it shows how much of stress it is for a common lady or a woman or a young girl to acquire or access a sanitary product.
Sure.
So when even though we still have the educational part, we still have, as you've said, we still have a lot of things that we need to address, the diseases that can be found within it, or let's say on also how to use the products well. Do we even have like the regulatory board that for menstrual products to know that they're on standard?
And I want to cut you short, Fanza, because I know the moment we start talking here, we'll just go without any. So I want us now to first focus a little bit on the shame, because recently we've seen some ladies coming out of, again, I'm now getting into the diseases, the diseases part that you've said, and we've seen ladies such as Ajib, who really came out saying she has a condition when it comes to that is related with period. I've forgotten the name. Adenomyosis. Yes. Okay. So she had a condition related to the period. And we've also seen Jambi. Unfortunately, she lost her life to endometriosis.
Natalie
Givinji is also one of the people who has been experiencing a lot of issues when it comes to endo also. And not only them, but so many people have come out to just talk about it. But you see, the problem is once they start speaking about it, they are now being shamed. And you see, this is a different, I think it's a modern type of shaming. I will call it that, a modern type of shaming, where you're being shamed because of something that you didn't want. I'm not the one who said I wake up early in the morning and then get sick of maybe something related to my period, So this is an issue that people are not, first of all, speaking about the diseases that comes with our periods, and the moment you start speaking about it, then it's a problem. So can we discuss that? I know, as I said, it's a modern type of shame. So let's talk about, yes, it being a shame, one of the shame that we should not be feeling. Actually, people should actually feel more open to speak about this. Yeah, I should come, if I battle endo, I should feel very open to just come and speak about it, without any problem.
I've just remembered.
Yeah.
So you see, when we are talking about other diseases, chronic illness such as cancer, diabetes, such, so and so and so, 5, 6, 7, we usually talk of the research that is ongoing.
Yeah.
But then if it's there, the research, then it's not that loud enough. Natalie Githinji made a statement at the time that late Njambi, I think the time she died, I think it was before or after.
Yeah.
She made a statement on how they're trying to converse with the government to understand where the research for endometriosis has reached. Are there any breakthroughs? What needs to be focused on? Because when we're talking about chronic illnesses, I do understand that in the past, most of these tests were done to male patients.
Yeah.
And therefore, that's why the female reproductive system or the female body has become
forgotten.
Yes, and or has been suppressed. And now people are now realizing, it's not the same thing when, let's say, symptoms for a heart attack, for a man, it's not the same as for a woman.
Yeah, true.
For a woman, it can be fatigue and just need to lie down or something, or headache.
Yeah.
It's not the same. And this is where we need to also discuss about reproductive diseases such as adenomyosis. Because now, remember with Ajib,
yeah.
I did a little research before this and directly copy-pasted from Wikipedia. I know that I've understood that for adenomyosis, it's similar to endo.
Yeah.
However, it's often associated for adenomyosis, it's often associated with women who are in their late years of childbearing. And realizing that Ajib's age is quite young, our age actually, people still find the reasons to shame. The other thing that I'd like to talk about is, even with the policies that we have here in Kenya currently, we've had the Kenya Environmental and Sanitation whatever policy for the 2016, menstrual policy for 2014 to 2030. We have now the new provision law that's nominated Senator Gloria just did it. I think it was either this year or last year in February. That offers such free sanitary products to young students.
In school,
high schools. We seem to forget that even outside are more in danger. And then when we have these diseases, we seem to sideline it to not a big issue. It might be rare, but it doesn't mean it's not a big issue. And that's one of the things. When you said about modern shame, my mind clicked to the research. Where are we? Do we have any progress or initiatives that are talking for this type of research? Can the female body and reproductive diseases also be given space to be identified and come up with breakthroughs that can help for the women in the society to also continue in achieving the goals and for the development, of course. And so I can talk a lot, but I think for now, I'll stick with research.
Okay.
Yes.
But you agree we have modern day
shame? Yes. I actually saw the comments and how many women are trying to defend Ajib.
Yeah.
It's so shameful. I don't think you would like to shame someone for a disease
that you can also possibly have. Yeah.
And the fact that, you see, I do not know what stigma has been brought about to shame people for especially reproductive diseases.
Yeah.
Yes.
So actually, I think this is something we need to think about, There are things that go unspoken. People think that, okay, if I stand up and say today I'm battling with cancer, not even people think this is what happens. If I say I'm battling with cancer, everyone will be like, oh, sorry, this is it. But why does it not happen for issues that are concerning our own reproductive system as women. It's something that we need to start thinking about. It's something that we need to also embody. As Gloria said, it's important for us to do the research, yeah? Let's have researchers who also can be able to help out when it comes to these issues, yeah? If you're at home, please let us know, do you think that there is modern shaming? And if you do, please let us know through our social media platforms, Younib_TV on Instagram, Younib Media TV on Facebook, and there's a number on your screen. You can SMS or WhatsApp 0719 144 144. Let's go for this short break and we'll be back with more. Don't touch that dial. We'll be right back. Welcome back. This is still the Younib Breakfast Show with me, Peninah, Wachera, and my guest, Gloria, Munyiva, and we are here to just have a conversation on period shame and period poverty. Yeah? We've had a lot of people complaining about diseases. I know Kitambo, I don't think people were more open to speaking about the issues or the diseases that are affected ama zimekuja due to their periods. And now we are seeing people who are coming out to just give information being shamed simply because of doing that. And honestly speaking, these people have taken courage for a lady to just go in front of a camera or to just tell people there's this condition. Because some people even are not aware about it, yeah?
True.
Some people even don't know, maybe I've been having cramping, I'm supposed to go to the hospital. They've been saying, okay, it's a normal thing.
Yeah.
This is supposed to be normal, but not knowing that this can really affect them in the future simply because of your period. So it's something that we need to start speaking about. And we should really advocate for stop shaming people because of who they are. We are ladies. We don't want whatever happens to our bodies to happen. It was God-given. So the moment we start standing out and just telling or speaking about the issues that we're going through as ladies, then we need to ensure that we as ladies kwanza, I don't even expect a lot of men to do this, but I want us as ladies, let's come together and talk to people and let them know, anyway, this is a condition that any lady can go through.
Yes.
It might not be yourself, but your sister, your cousin, your friend. You can imagine. It's upon us to just start speaking about it, because the moment we start speaking about it, it will drive research, it will also bring change for us. Our systems, our health systems, You've always seen ladies going to hospital during their periods. They have to go take an injection so that they can feel good because of the cramps. Yeah. So you can imagine them not knowing that they have a condition. They're just going there because they mostly, when this comes, I know I'm ready. Me and hospital together.
And painkillers.
And painkillers,
Oh, good.
But it's important for us to know these things so that somebody can know, okay, I have this cramping, then I need to go to the hospital to see whether I have a problem. So it's upon all of us to try and also speak about it. If you get the opportunity to have a conversation with your friends, ensure tupa mambo na period inside there, yeah, for them to know that this is an issue that affects us, and this is something that anybody, a lady, kama ajib, you see, this is something that, as you said, for people with menopause, you see, they're supposed to be experiencing this, but she's young, it's happening. And her coming out was, again, I say it's a lot of courage. Anyway, I can speak for long. I just talk without even giving my guests the opportunity to speak. So I want us to go now to the conversation on poverty. Period poverty has always been something that we have been speaking about, we have been complaining about, we have been, like, a lot has been said about period poverty. Even before the break, you had told us that the issue on people not having sanitary towels, not only in school, but also people who are going to work. Yeah, it's happening. So let's talk about a little bit about the period poverty, and then now I'll now come with another issue that now involves poverty still. But let's go and see what is the side of you. Like, everyone knows sanitary products here in Kenya now are going off the window. Let me just introduce this now, because I know the moment you start speaking, you'll bring everything. So we saw also during the reject finance bill, because people are saying, oh, Gen Z are all about this. So I'll bring it in here. One of the matters that people were pushing out of the finance bill was taxation of our menstrual products. Our issues about, or the taxation of menstrual products, which already are expensive as it is. Yeah. Also, we've seen people, actually the main reason they were saying this, and I quote because I'm saying it's because that they want to promote our own. I know, Gloria, you have a lot to say about this, but let me finish this. It's because they want to promote our own here in Kenya. But again, there's issues when it comes to, are we really ready for this change?
Yeah.
Are all ladies, has it reached to the point that ladies now can access the period products easily, so that we can be able to say, okay, now let's push for taxation? And I know it's something we have been speaking about, yeah, Gloria, and I want you to speak about it. But before we do that, remember, when we were saying about this thing, it's important for us to understand that not all ladies out here have the opportunity to get sanitary towels. And remember, when I was starting, I said there's somebody who didn't even know the difference between sanitary products and tampons, that they are the same. So yes, there's somebody who said, okay, I don't use sanitary towels, I use a tampon. Remember?
The famous.
Yes, the famous person.
The lawyer.
So let's talk about this. Let's talk about this conversation. How we need to actually speak about why we don't want taxation to come mostly to the sanitary products. Not that we are not, we are just saying that it's women empowerment, but it's because we have seen what is really happening. Vitu kwa ground ziko different. People can't even access the right quality of sanitary products. And also, not leave alone even quality, even the low quality type of products is not there. So let's talk about it.
Well, if I'm allowed to start, because I have a lot.
Yeah.
So the Younib organization is very known on matters on promoting menstrual hygiene, as well as helping young women in society access free sanitary products from the well-wishers that we get.
Sure.
And we have a problem in our legislative assembly. So when we are saying about rejecting the finance bill, I'd like to clarify that even they were first, the sanitary product was supposed to be included in the taxation products or taxed products, because previously they weren't. So that's one we're introducing. Secondly, part of eco levy. So there was Kimani Korea, I hope, yes. Kimani Korea had said that it's not for the locally manufactured, but for the imported goods. As if the imported goods are not the ones used most. Because, no offense, they're cheap. They're cheaper than our locally manufactured goods. And we do understand why our locally manufactured goods are expensive. It's because things are expensive here. The raw materials that need to be sourced and the running of the machines, it's expensive to maintain. So definitely, it will still have to be expensive. The other thing is for regulatory. I remember Bad Girl Millie, how she said that, okay, so we are trying to promote our locally manufactured goods. So are we supposed to wait and pause our period flow until our local manufacturers are stable enough to be able to have the capacity to produce. And that raised a very, very big question. It raised education. Again, we'll talk about the education because it seems that even for our legislative members, some of them or most of them are unaware of the impact that this finance bill has on the ladies and the women. And there's another thing. So we're talking about eco-levy, but we're not talking about sustainability. So what we're doing, we're imposing taxes on this, but it doesn't mean that they'll change the production or the materials that they're producing the goods to. And then we're talking about, now we have to talk about also the SDG goals, because there's no fairness in women and gender equality since they're unable to purchase this product. Remember, we've done with you a couple of things before, and our latest one that we did in partnership with Miss You on exchange program with the Germans on how the political, how menstrual or menstruation is related to politics, brings in the finance bill. And you did it before even this thing. So who knew? And you can see that there's a lot to talk about it. When you're talking about period poverty, the government of Kenya has its place, programs, policies, laws, the new provisional laws, money set aside for such. So the 986 million that Senator Gloria Oroba asked for the Ministry of Education to explain, since it was under the Ministry of Education, it's supposed to be under the Ministry of Gender, right? And I think there was a transition which was supposed to now include all the women representatives being in charge of that committee. And I've forgotten the name, but I stand to be corrected. And when you see this kind of law, it means that we do have the structure. We have the structure for enabling us to move from the period poverty, but it's not. It seems that there's a disconnect. Either it's not working, either people are corruptible or are corrupt. And when we are talking about such a situation, I need to remind you that in every ward, again, stand to be guided, there's a gender office that is supposed to provide free sanitary products to which people have no clue. And when we are talking about the period poverty, this is the examples, because you remember, and you give the example of the women in our area, most of them are unable to afford the sanitary products that they're using, this Uhuru bags, the non-woven, the woven bags, to use as tampons. They roll it and
so that they can put it in, and it can't actually, it's not quality enough because
it will still drop.
Again, there are diseases also, it will drop. And then the fact that it can't handle, if you have even
oh my god,
even it can't handle at all.
To add on it, the famous senator who's not worth mentioning, her name, who said that she'll work with a certain company to give free tampons. Education really matters, because this is a person who's representing the entire county in the Assembly Senate House and does not know the difference, or that a tampon is part of a sanitary product. And therefore differentiates that a sanitary product is simply a pad. And forgetting, now issuing even in her comments on issuing it to the primary school children, there's that lack of awareness on shock syndrome. True. And you see, like, we have a lot of learning to do. Menstrual cup is very expensive. You can't expect everyone to get access to menstrual cup.
Plus the sanitation, not everyone can be able to
water,
sanitation.
Even salt,
menstrual cup.
Clean water. When we are talking about period poverty, we are not only talking about that, we're also talking about climate action, because we do not have enough bins to dispose this after you use the menstrual products or the sanitary products. We are talking about women and gender equality. We are talking about fairness in working environment, because when someone lacks the access to this product, they cannot work.
True.
As a student, I have come across so many ladies who we are currently working with, trying to figure out how to ensure that the pad banks will be sustainable in different schools. And you find that these students, most of the students, especially the females, either undergo sexual harassment, so that they can be able to get
provide
exactly. And how much is a pad? It's $1. Simply $1.
Yeah.
And some are even more than $1.
True.
And for an average person, one packet is not enough. You need at least 2. So if one costs for around 80, 90 to 120 or 135 shillings, you can imagine how much it takes for that lady, unemployed, to make sure that she has access to that sanitary product. We are talking about free in high schools and primary, which I understand, it's a good thing. However, we also remember that there are some primary schools, even when 2016 it was implemented through the Kenya Environmental Sanitary Policy. There were not for sale GOK sanitary products.
They were being sold.
They were being sold. And we were being told by our fellow friends they are being sold. And even here, for ladies, since they cannot access a whole packet, you find someone has to spare at least 10 or 15 shillings to go and buy one piece. That's period poverty. And also, the educational poverty comes from it, because when you find senator or a member of National Assembly or our leaders whom have been chosen by our community are unequipped or do not have access or do not have the relevant information on what is needed to end the period poverty, they also contribute to the period poverty due to their educational poverty. And I can talk much, but what I'd say about period poverty is it's here, it's a lot. We have organizations that are really willing to do so, but it's not enough. There's more need to pressure in this entire thing, because when you're talking about poverty, it's not only one narrow path. It's a lot of channels that connect to it. There's good sanitation, access to clean water, health, good what is it called? Good latrines, if people are using latrines, or good toilets. You see, so that you cannot also get diseases, UTI, and also information. Yes, that's what. Which
I will say, it's like these are the basic things that we require. Like for survival, for human survival, people need water. You're finding there are places who people can't access actual water, which is supposed to happen. Like it's supposed, if we have leaders who they say we have amount of money stipulated for water for my county, for my specific constituency. So I think these are things also. As you add on these things, it's important for us to also consider that it's a role for the government. Not every organization should. Actually, it's not the part of the organization to come and say, okay, we are doing this because it means we have a falling system. You get it? Yeah, you get it? Yeah. It means there's a problem somewhere that is not being handled well. That is why we have other organizations coming in. So it means that we need to put our leaders to action.
True.
So that we can see if the money stipulated for menstrual products, where are they going to? Because this ends up as corruption, as you said, So it means that we need to get strategies in which we can get our country or the people who are in leadership to make sure that we follow up. But we can't do this simply because we as the youths, we can be told, okay, now you remember you started Mandamano, it is now coming to an end. What else can you tell me? The fact that also our society has gotten a way of having us, like youths will never say, they will just talk. It's something that is already known. Youths will only talk, but they will not do a change. Another thing is, some of the youths may have very awesome initiatives that will help not only the society, but also like our own existence, right? But you will talk to somebody, they will listen with one ear, get out in the next, and they will continue doing things as if they were never told. Yes, as if they were never told. So we have a system that also, as we're in the system, also, once we get bigger, we can get into the same system simply because it's something we're used to seeing.
Yeah.
So it's a cycle that will continue unless there's change, yeah? But anyway, guys, what do you think about the issues that we have spoken about during this segment, yeah? It's something that we need to really speak about, yeah? It's something about us trying to also get affordable sanitary towels. Akitunaumia huku nje. Honestly speaking, we are really suffering with the amount, because you can imagine you're going to work, you also have your own menses come with different body changes, yeah? Start me off with maybe buying painkillers and then leave alone painkillers. My mood swings. I go to work, my boss is always on my throat.
The energy changes. Oh my God.
There's a lot of things that come with menstruation, and honestly speaking, we need to be more comfortable so that if we have the menstruation products, we can easily be comfortable to really get to understand now, okay, now I can work with my mood swings. At least I can work with my mood swings and keeping them in check during this specific time.
Yeah.
I can't just continue stressing about my menstruation products and also stress about my mood swings and also stress about work. Like, it's a lot that really girls go through a lot during this period. So if you are a man out there, please support your ladies. Please support your ladies. Anyway, I want us to take this short break and we'll be back with more conversation about this specific topic, period shaming and period poverty. And if you have any input about this conversation, please let us know through our social media platforms. Younib_TV on Instagram, Younib Media TV on Facebook, and there's a number on your screen. You can SMS or WhatsApp 0719 144 144. We'll be right back. Welcome back. This is still the Younib Breakfast Show, and today this conversation really is close to our hearts, yeah? And mmekuwa mkisikia tukisema, oh, what we did. We have been doing a lot of this when it comes to period shame, period poverty. We've been going to schools, actually. I think the editor will insert some pictures of us going to schools, teaching people about this conversation. So we're not here only to just talk about it, but it's something that kwa ground tumeona, and we've had conversation with people who've listened to, actually even men telling us, hey manze, me go buy a pad for my girlfriend. No. Heri unitupe kitu ingine. We've had like, we have seen it, like when it comes to vitu kwa ground, tumeenda kwa ground, and we know this for a fact, yeah? So before we come to what men should do, or how should the role of men during this specific time and these conversations, I want us to speak about now, should we normalize, hii hata ni kama tu tunaulizana swali, should we normalize workplaces, schools, like having ladies feeling free about them talking about, okay, I'm in my, it's that week of the month, please usijaribu tu my emotions, utanipata tu umeniambia kitu, even though it's supposed to be happy, I start crying. You get, at that time of the month you can just come and tell me, hey manze, oh wewe hata unakwanga mjinga, and you see me crying simply because it's not me, it's my emotions. Yeah, umeniita mjinga, it's not a big thing, but now when it comes to those days, it can be a big thing. You understand?
Yeah.
All ladies out there, you understand, right?
Mimi smart nalia.
Exactly. For no good reason. Unaona kitu tu nzuri, badala ya kwanza kufurahia, you start crying about it. Yeah, it's not us, it's the emotions, guys. So if you're a guy out there and you've been seeing these things, Aki, just know this is just not us. But should we normalize the fact that during this specific time, it should be a conversation where I feel like I'm coming to work. Like, it's good for me to just tell people I work with, mostly the men, because the women will always understand, yeah? Mostly the men of, hey manze, wiki, you guys don't try me. Because you can come, I have my own emotions. You can do this. You think, unacheza na mimi ile tu ya normal workmate, friends and everything. Unapata, hey, uwe amegeuka, you know? Yeah. So, should we normalize this thing?
Contrary opinion, I think it will be so good because you can imagine, okay, for work efficiency, even, okay, I'll relate it to the gym.
Yeah.
So if you're doing a gym workout, usually it goes with your follicular phase, the time that you're very energetic, and then ovulation, and then there's that luteal phase that you're kind of low, and then now the period. And I think it works based on that because now efficiency can be handled. You see, again, we are in a very patriarchal system. So even for the maternal leave or maternity leave, it's usually a heck of a work to try and ask for more time.
Yeah.
And even for the men, because they need to bond with the children.
Yeah.
Now, when you're talking about the period flow and cycles, I'd strongly suggest that if the companies or the corporates or the firms decide to, go direct to an interaction or an interrelationship with their employees, it can create a very good, let's say, even for the profit. Because if you're working with, let's say, my cycle, and on this and this week and this week, I'm usually, even the scientific research, it's there, so it's for everyone.
Yeah.
On this and this and this phase, I'm usually very active. So make sure at that time
utilize me.
Yes. Yeah. And then on this, please
don't even think about
accept
it.
the bare minimum. For that's what I can give, and it can create a very healthy environment. I was checking for, I think it's because I haven't seen more of menstrual related initiatives. I've seen for maternity and for raising children, infants, when the newborn mothers, they don't have, let's say, anyone to stay with their kid at home, or they don't have any other place for their toddlers, they'd bring the toddlers to work, and then they'll have a separate place for all the mothers who have toddlers and they're unable to afford baby sitters or such for baby daycare, and then they can put them there and they can continue their work. It changes the type of environment, because now you can see an environment that is inclusive, not just patriarchal system. So I'd really support that. I think that will be a very good thing. And you'll no longer have to feel ashamed and let's say discouraged, because at that time usually we have questions asking ourselves, why am I not able to do anything right today? And why is my week just that hectic? So it's a win-win. It's a win for me as an employee to be healthy, and also a win for the company, because you'll be utilizing my energy according to how I really am.
Sure.
Yes.
So let's normalize it. As we agree, it is good to normalize it. And you've said about the gym, and I remember watching a video. People know I love audio, listening to podcasts. Even you yourself, already. So I was listening to a video, and I remember somebody saying that we should normalize, even when you're going to the gym, you've said the gym, it triggered that conversation. You should normalize telling your gym instructor that today I don't need to do a lot of weights, I'm on my period. So please
let's do
treat me
stretches.
gently. Yeah, it's that time that I don't need a lot of it. And thinking about it, it's really, it is not bad telling them so that they may understand your condition. Because you can imagine going to the gym, you're forcing yourself kwanza to go to the gym. It takes a lot of courage.
I want to add something.
Yeah.
Vile umesema hivyo, imeclick kwa how women being now in the healthcare and the research does play a big role in the changing of what we accept as
True.
normalcy.
Yeah.
And I think that's really good.
True.
So what was some?
Education is the key to everything. Yeah,
It's one of the keys.
it's one of the keys. What is the key? According to this conversation, it's the key.
Yes.
Yeah. So please, let's normalize us feeling like us ladies, and even men. Please normalize allowing your ladies to tell you, and this time, niko kwa ile that time of the month. So please treat me.
And you know,
gently.
it reminds me of vile tulikuwa tunasema hadi walimu and whatever.
Yeah.
Akikasirika kone.
Yeah.
And you used to wonder why men or male allies or male counterparts used to say konyo
Yeah, on your period.
like every time when
Yeah.
you're maybe umejam, and I think that's wrong. Because understanding,
Actually,
okay,
it's wrong. No, it's not thinking. It's wrong. Yeah.
Because yes, it's true that on our periods we are oversensitive, or we are more sensitive than the normal times.
Yeah.
But at the same time, downplaying every emotion when we want to talk or air out,
It's not
as if a
right.
woman is supposed to be demure, because people love using the word
Yeah.
demure very much, and they do not understand being shy
Yeah.
and meek, which you do understand to an extent, but more of not speaking up as it's the way of a woman. It's supposed to be wrong.
Yeah.
Fun fact: someone to check, or when on your free time, just check what is a man and what is a woman. There's an IG reel that I was checking, and this lady was saying, if you check the characteristics of a man and you check the characteristics of a woman, either a male or a female or a man and a woman, it's very, very patronizing, because for a man, they're characterized by bold, brave. For a woman, it's curvy. Yeah, very sexualizing. So, yeah, on your free time, that was just a bit.
It's only on the Younib breakfast show where you expect assignments every single time. Yeah, we have a show. We'll always give you assignments, and I tell you guys, we are here to inform you and to make yourself better. So today, I know, get that free time, write it down on your notebook, and then go sit down and think about it, and let's try and change the society. Yeah. So I say that was just a part of us, which we are supposed to normalize. By the way, let's normalize it. Yeah. So let's go to the role of men when it comes to this conversation specifically. Yeah. We've seen us growing up, and actually us even when we were going to even visit the schools. Yeah. It's been quite an issue where people are asking, why are we forgetting men? Because it's a conversation where even as we were including men, but some men, or also some of the people, like the teachers, were feeling very uncomfortable having men coming to speak about this conversation. Yeah. And we're trying, that is part of us as Younib organization. We're trying to stop that shaming of men also. Men need to also know these things, so that they need to be educated on these issues, so that they can be able to understand and to also get the perspective of my daughter.
Yeah.
This is what my daughter goes through. This is what my wife goes through. This is what my sister goes through. Yeah. But if we don't give them the platform, then where are they supposed to learn about it? Yeah. So I want us to speak about the role of men. It's not for them, it's not only at give me the finances, because mostly it's always people you remember when we were asking the children, what will you do, who will you go to if you get your menses for the first time? Hey, I will go to my mom, to my sister, and then somebody says, I can't go to my father simply because I can't. How am I even going to tell them that I'm having my menses? Yeah. So these are the things we need to normalize. So what happens if you're in the same house and your dad is there? So you can't just tell them comfortably, hey dad, imeanza, and expect that manze, he will take good care of you during that time. And I know right now it's kind of a cringe topic and cringe conversation, but I'm looking at our children.
Yeah.
being able to speak about it. And we can only do this if we start speaking about it and involve the men in this conversation. So we can't speak about all this without involving men. Yeah, so let's talk about their roles.
Yeah. I think that's a very interesting topic, actually. I acknowledge it.
Yeah.
I'd start with this. God bless all our dads, our fathers, because they have done the best according to their time.
True.
Because
Yeah.
I can say personally, my dad helped in financing.
Definitely.
He really helped in financing.
Pitisha pesa.
Yes. And at times when I was in high school, sometimes he'd purchase them and then bring them to school for me. Because in high school I used to have really heavy
menses.
Yes, and it was a hormonal imbalance, so I do understand at that time it was very heavy. However, now from ours, for those who will be blessed with kids, I think it's a time that we can include the men to talk about it. We already have male allies. I have male friends who are really inside championing for this by creating. I have Lennox from Ecobana Limited, who's trying to come up with sustainable sanitary products, especially for the pads through banana. Yes, and I also have another friend, Guthiru, who's now partnering with other women who are also championing for the same thing. So what you see is a shift from now us speaking up to when we speak up, the men around us, even though not all will react positively, we have some men who are willing to help us.
Yeah.
So then we have that issue of let it become a personal responsibility for an individual man. Let it not be a choice. It should be a personal responsibility to know how the cycles work. Because we were taught in high school in biology, but it wasn't really for teaching, it was more of for the exam. Because even as for the ladies, no offense, some of us got to know it, to understand our menses or our periods really well after high school. And then we also have...
And some don't even know about it completely, honestly.
Yes, it's very true. And that's why we kept on saying education is key. And for the male, I'd just simply say being involved is the first step. Being involved, you're doing great. Allowing yourself to go and purchase the pad, even though it's a bare minimum, it's the first step. We have to acknowledge that first step. And I think the other one is to normalize involving discussions with your girlfriend or your girl friends, female friends, on how they feel about it, how does it affect them, how will they want to be helped? Because it also speaks a lot. You see, when we say about mental health, we also ask some, how would you like to be helped? So I think that also for the menstrual cases will be really preferred. Also, the other thing that I can maybe urge is to protect the ladies. And that is when anyone tries to cause stigma to a lady for maybe having a period stain, to be there to defend them. They should not be ashamed to do so. Yes, because I know they might feel, or some might feel that, it's a women to women thing. So if you see another woman shaming the other woman, because you're not a woman, you're not supposed to be speaking about it. A wrong is a wrong and a right is a right.
You can't, you can't undo a wrong.
So like for the case of Senator Gloria Roba, when she went to the parliament, to the Senate House with her stained, another senator, I've forgotten her name, and it's usually on my fingertips. When she stood up and saying it's supposed to be secretive and it's a shame to the women, there was a hesitation amongst the men. And I do understand for their age at that time, they couldn't do anything. So what I'm hoping to see, it's a shift, a transition to a more understanding being knowledgeable on what the menstrual cycle is all about and how to help each other, how to defend one, what to do, because we've talked, and people how we've talked with our male allies or acquaintances and friends, how they're saying they wanted to help but they were unsure and uncertain on what exactly, and it speaks a lot or what you're supposed to do when you see one, or how you're supposed to help your daughter or your niece or your cousin. You see, because we also have male or single fathers, widowers, and I'm sure it will be a nice thing to involve them as something as general knowledge. So even for what we're doing in the programs in the schools, what you're trying to introduce is menstrual hygiene and period education as part of general knowledge. Yes, that's what I can say.
I definitely I agree with whatever you've said, and it's important for us, like for the men, to actually now start standing out and speaking about it. Also they should feel more comfortable going to buy a pad and just walk with it, bila hijab, bila kitu, hata bila kufungwa na gazeti, because also it's a shame for ladies to just walk, unaenda to the whatever you ask. No, kuna paper bag. Like, should I? So if you have a paper bag inafungwa na gazeti, so it's about time that we need to normalize all this.
Because why would you put a shower box, condom box,
like that
inside the bathrooms? Why are I calling down your bathrooms? No, I'm going to look at the hallways in tertiary institutions.
And it's not shameful.
Yes,
but for a pad, it is shameful.
And also the adverts. Because the media also plays a role, because when you see for condoms and contraceptives, I mean, you'll find that it takes two, and then when it comes to menstrual products, it's only the girls dancing,
dancing alone.
It's I think that also speaks to the type of culture that we have. So if we shift also through the media, let's say if the Younib TV or the adverts have more of male being involved in period products, either by just helping, it can be a good thing, yes,
which is actually good. And I know we have done a lot of strategies. We've started doing strategies, or we have been doing actually strategies on helping on men getting to understand what is really
I'm sorry, I've just remembered something. So for the detergents, That's why I'm saying it's the culture that you have, because even from the media perspective, when you have adverts for detergents, we usually have women washing the clothes.
True. Yeah.
That shows a lot. So when you have a transition, if we are having this transition, it will also speak about a lot, because these days for Ariel, I saw for Ariel that I'm not marketing Ariel, but I saw the latest advert for Ariel. There was I think his name is Victor Peace and another lady, and they were doing a very good advert that shows it's not really a woman's it doesn't have to be a woman's job, yes, to be washing clothes.
About that, I've seen now people are doing it in the modern day. A lot of advertisements, I won't mention the brands and everything, but they're trying to bring in even men to actually speak about clothes washing, to actually show how it is good. It's something that people are doing now. If you go, mostly influencers. Quite a lot. And you see, they're actually ganging up.
Mushiri Mike.
Yes, I'm saying a lot of them. It's just that I didn't want to mention names right now, but yes, there is a lot of people who are doing this, and it's showing that we are changing. And also, let us change when it comes to period shaming. Let's change also when it comes to our menstrual cycle, It's not only a girl's issue, because every man came from a woman. So these are the issues your own mom went through. Because most times, right now, they are maybe on menopause, so they don't experience it, but they went through. So you can imagine you can be able to help somebody. If you say you don't have a sister, man, you came from a woman. So please try your level best to also make sure that it is good for you, so that your future lady or your wife cannot also experience the shame that goes with period poverty, period shame, and also sanitation. So let's try. It's up to men. If you're a man out there, take it up as your own responsibility to try and have conversation, as Gloria said, with your own ladies, with your friends. Yeah, just have it like a normal conversation. It doesn't have to look, there's that
sensitive. Actually, like no, they can need trauma. Okay, although it does have trauma,
but let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Like normally, how I can just tell you, are you really okay? Like you're really, really okay.
How do you want to be? How do you want to be helped?
During that specific time.
Okay.
Yeah, let's just normalize that conversation, and men, please feel free to speak about it, because I know women won't be really ashamed right now to really have a conversation when it comes to their menstruation period or that cycle, during that time. So this has been an awesome conversation, and I know we can still talk a lot when it comes to period poverty, period shaming, and what will like the evolution, the changes we need. And so far, I can applaud some men. I'll say some because not all have evolved, but the men who are trying to actually push for women to have good menstrual products, to stand up and also help women during this specific time, to stand by their sister who is going to hospital every single time. Yeah, thank you so much. You're doing good, and let's continue empowering other men to get to understand this issue so that we can all be comfortable enough, right? Okay. So anyway, Gloria, as parting shot, please let us know what you'll tell people when it comes to this conversation, and maybe where, if you're comfortable enough, you can tell them where they can get to find you. If you're comfortable enough, as I said.
If you follow Younib TV, you'll probably see me there, Chubby_Munyiva. My parting shot is first watch, then discuss, then share. And also, period poverty needs, it's not only a personal responsibility, but a collective responsibility. I'm so happy as to how I saw the turn up for the Mandamano with people, even male counterparts coming with the boards.
Placards,
Yes, placards for the, to sing Yesha Sasa, and it's really amazing. So I'm hoping that we'll stay on track. And follow us also on our social media platform for the Younib organization and the Younib Media TV. And if you'd like, we can have as many initiatives that we can possibly give or share or partner, especially to do with menstrual hygiene and education. Yes.
Thank you so much, Gloria, for this amazing conversation. Yeah, it's always awesome having you here, and we have a lot of fun doing sets when we are together, and it's awesome because we keep on learning and growing together, and these are conversations that we require change, and it's through us informing people, having these discussions that we can be able to impact change. So I hope people who are out there listening can be able to start doing what is needful that will make us change. So let's stop shaming when it comes to period. Let's speak about the diseases that we are experiencing as ladies openly, and let also men come into this discussion. So thank you so much to everyone who has made this show a success. Thank you so much, Gloria, for being our guest today. Thank you so much, Elias, for always being there. He has been the camera person. He has been the set designer. He has been the director. Asante sana for the work you're doing for this show specifically. Sindio, asante sana. And to you, our viewers, thank you for always sitting down in the morning with your cup of coffee, with your tea, with your kauji, with whatever you take for breakfast, to just listen and to also comment and also to interact with us because of the conversation we bring. It's because of you guys that we get the motivation to keep on doing this, yeah? So thank you so much, guys. And do have a beautiful day ahead for now. From me and Gloria, we have to say goodbye and have a beautiful day ahead.